Alright, what's up, trolls and girls? So I was jumping in and out of his Friday, August 16th day stream, and what an absolute mess that was. There's a couple of pictures where he's holding a power drill, and it legitimately looks like the thing is gonna snap his wrist. I mean, it looks like he's never held one before. I'm honestly surprised the thing didn't still have the sticker on it. Would I put it past this guy to take it back to Home Depot tomorrow? Hell no. But that's a different story for a different day. Now, as I was watching the stream, I would hear him say something and I'm like, oh, I can make a video about this. And then a little while would pass by and he'd say something else even more ridiculous. So let's get into the first clip because we have a few of them we're gonna watch. And in this one, he gets a tip from a person that definitely doesn't have a dent in their head, but they're a chill, positive, handsome member of the community that can't stop thinking about the detractors.
Now, I also have received, excuse me, a generous $50 tip this morning. We haven't even started with gameplay, and I received a $50 tip, and that is much, much, much appreciated. Let's go ahead and play the animation of me in a diaper in celebration. This person says, hey, Phil, I just tuned in. Here's $50 just to make him mad. This is so hilarious. Your enemies are all coping because now you've finally made some friends. Yeah, I know. So, by the way, if you want to have your name in a tip, please include your name in the tip body of the message because I don't know what your name is, so I'm just going to say anonymous. But thank you so very much. Literally with that, we hit my tips goal for the stream. I won't be having to mention, you know, anything about, you know, contributions, but I will shout them out as they come in, and I'm very grateful for them. So thank you very much, guys. Two Gunner glasses to start here today before I even get to my interesting announcement that you guys are going to love.
So he receives a very generous $50 tip from a little bitch that can't even say their name. And this person says, here's $50 just to make them mad. Your enemies are all coping because you finally made some friends. Let that sink in. And honestly, I can't tell which one is more regarded. The loser that has to pay $50 just to say that, or the 42-year-old loser that's just now making some new friends. Friends that were trashing him 2 months ago, by the way. Talking about his fat-ass wife and comparing him to a crackhead that begs every day. It's like middle school all over again, where you let the other kids abuse you just so you can hang out with them. But then Phil says, with that tip, we've hit our $50 goal for the day, and he won't have to really mention contributions anymore. Are you sure about that, Phil? Well, let's go into the next clip.
Snarf says, yes, Kino Casino turns it into a skit, but it probably won't work for everyone. Right? I mean, here's the funny thing. You know, you see them doing it, and it's funny and everything. And people then say, well, Phil, you know, every time that you ask for something, it's horrible. Like, how dare you? And I'm like, but what am I doing that's different? And I guess here's the answer. I guess what people are saying, because people did respond to the clip, and they said, basically, when I ask for contributions, it's all about how you phrase it. If we're doing it for fun, like, come on, guys, right now, let's get a tip, right? Let's get this up to 60 right now. Let's get it to $60 literally right now. There's nothing holding us back. We could do it. Let's get the $60 of tips on the stream right now. That's different than me being like, so guys, just so you know, we don't hit the tips goal. That's going to set me back because tips are what I use, paying bills, get groceries, and that's what keeps the streams going. If you don't tip, that's what keeps me going, and I might not, I won't be able to do this full time anymore. Man, if you don't tip, I guess I'm just going to have to take this game out of the rotation, right? People are like, it's different. If you're doing it the one way, it's more like positive motivation, getting people hyped. Come on, support because you know you really want to. As opposed to the other way, where it's kind of like almost negative reinforcement, where it's like, well, all these bad things are going to happen if I don't hit my goal today. And even if it's true, even if those things I'm saying are true, the audience doesn't want to hear it that way, correct? The audience wants to hear it in like a hype, positive manner, right? Right? John Doe says, the king doesn't ask for donations. Tell everyone you're collecting your taxes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the king has to collect his royal tax for today. You've all been here. You've enjoyed the show. I even entertained you with like 20 minutes of technical difficulties because I'm a buffoon. I'm sure you all had a good laugh. The king needs to collect his tax for that now. So please, send your taxes my way. Let's hit the tier 2 tips goal. Let's do it. And then you could all vote for a hat for the king to wear for the rest of the stream. What do you think about that?
By the way, the clip before that was from 45 minutes earlier, which means he barely went 45 minutes until he asked them to hit the next goal. But don't worry, because like he said earlier, he's not going to have to mention contributions anymore today. So he says when Kino Casino asks for money, it's fun and they're having a good time. But when he asks for donations, people say it's horrible and how dare you, and that he doesn't understand the difference. He then goes on to say, well, it might be because he mentions things like he won't be able to pay all his bills this month. This game might have to get taken out of the rotation, and he can't operate his business if he doesn't get the support. This is why I make all the videos that I do. So when he says shit like that, I can point you to clips like this.
My parents are doing so well, all right? They're getting old, and my mom has had a lot of health issues over the years already. The last few years, you guys noticed I haven't really talked about my dad that much. It's because he's not doing very well. My dad is getting a lot of health issues, both his back, which he basically has, remember my back issue, my herniated disc? Well, he has at least 2, if not 3, in the same situation that I had. So he's really fucked up right now and can barely move around. He's been like this for about 2 years now. And now he's starting to have other health problems. He's starting to have heart problems, okay? So it's a bad situation. It's really bad. Just chill stuff. Guys, please tomorrow, I have to implore and invoke your generosity tomorrow. If you can help me with tips tomorrow, please do, all right? I need to raise a lot tomorrow in order to make ends meet, in order to pay my bills, to afford my mortgage, as well as the payments that come up right after the mortgage coming up. If I don't, I can't pay my bills, you know? And that's not good. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where there's enough coming in on the YouTube streams via Super Chats and memberships that it'll be enough to support me longer than it did, and I won't have to worry about stuff like this every month. But right now, that's just not the case. Right now, I have to do the special event, and I hope that you guys will support it and help me out tomorrow so I can get through this month. All right, guys? All right, fair enough. G Bowler did a 100-bit cheer. He said, I know nothing I can say or do will help with your situation, but I'm still your friend on the net, and I wish you the best in the difficult times ahead. Hope you pull through. I hope so, too. At this point, I have pulled through. I'm hoping we can pull through again. If I don't pay this guy for the taxes this month, I can't get my taxes done now. What do? I don't know. It seems like do or die, you know? So I guess we'll see what happens.
I could probably play you 100 clips like that, but then the video would never end. And you already know what clips I'm talking about, because I've played them all before. Jay Bowler, the kid you fucking laughed at with disabilities on stream, lying about your parents basically dying. I'm never just gonna go away. I'm always gonna be around. I'm like a fucking pit bull that's got a hold of your leg, and I'm never gonna let go. And people can say whatever they want about me. I know why I started doing this, and I know why I'm still doing it today. Next clip.
So they said they had a bunch of ideas for people who we could do this co-op with. One is Mudahar. I guess he goes by Some Ordinary Gamers on the internet. He's a very popular YouTuber. He also said Josh Moon. I think Josh Moon is the owner of Kiwi Farms. Now, I have no idea how that would work. Or I'm being honest here. The owner of Kiwi Farms, the website that has been responsible for some of the most heinous things being posted about myself, my family members, my business. There's been full doxes. There's been all this shit going on. Okay? And I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand what they're going for here. All right? They want to do something that's so outside the box that no one would expect it, and you know it would never have happened if all this other stuff hadn't been happening, correct?
Now, this is absolutely wild. And personally, I don't care if he talks to Josh or Muta. They're both grown men and they can do whatever they want. The thing that trips me out the most is how many of his most loyal, longtime paid pigs have been doxxed and been shit-talked all over Kiwi Farms. Think about it. Now, Null didn't do any of that personally, so it's not his fault. But these are DSP's biggest fans, and apparently that doesn't mean jack shit. I honestly would like to hear from people like Battle Duck, Pastryarchy, Murdoch, Guitar Player, Atlas Telemon, Planet Jeff, you know, the silent majority. You remember those guys? It's kind of funny how Phil doesn't really need them anymore, since he's got new friends now. But let's listen to the next clip and hear what he has to say about Muta.
I said to them, okay, like, here's the thing about Mudahar. I'm not against doing a co-op gameplay with him, but that would be confusing as hell to me, okay? Because Mudahar, from my understanding, and allow me to explain, from my understanding in the past, Mudahar has been absolutely nothing but nasty about me. He said, I hate this guy. I hate the way that he asks his viewers for contributions, and I'm completely against it, and I really hate his guts because of this, right? Like, I've heard him say stuff like that, where at least people have said that's the kind of things he says about me in his content, correct? And it was only a year ago, all right? I'd come off the Side Scrollers interview, which went incredibly poorly. We all know that, right? And Mudahar apparently offered me $5,000, okay, for an interview. Why did he offer me $5,000? Because I guess Review Tech wanted to offer me like $2,000 for an interview because he wanted to interview me after Side Scrollers. Like, everyone wanted to talk to me after the Side Scrollers interview, right? Because they just wanted to cause further harm and damage. They wanted to talk about more drama and all this bullshit, okay? So he DMs me on X, and we had a little back and forth. Essentially what he says is, I want to have a direct interview with you. I'll pay you $5,000, right? You know, it'll be a fair interview, but there's going to be, you know, harsh questions and stuff like that. And I basically went back to him and I said, listen, I just did I wasn't 7, it was like 5. I just did a 5-hour interview with Side Scrollers. And although people don't like the interview, I guess, my answers aren't going to change about any of the shit that they tried to ask, the intrusive stuff about my life or my business or my finances. The answers are going to be the same. So, if that's all you're interested in, all right, then I'm not interested. I said, however, if you want to do an interview, and by the way, I'm not going to accept any money from you for this interview. I'll do it for free. I think I even said if he wants to donate the money to charity, he could do that. I can't remember how I framed. I think I might have even said that. Like, if you want to pay someone, go donate the $5K to charity. Don't give it to me. I don't deserve to be paid for an interview. That's ridiculous. Okay? I said, but I'll do it for free. However, I just don't want to do an interview with you that's all about drama. There's no point. I have nothing new to say about all the drama shit. I've said my piece on it. Okay?
I love the way he tries to make it seem like he's against accepting money for an interview. Oh, donate it to charity, but I don't deserve it. It's because he would 100% be liable to answer some of the questions being asked. If somebody pays you $5,000 and it comes out later that you sat there and straight up lied to or misled them just to take their money, what do you think might happen? But that's definitely not the reason why. It's because he doesn't deserve the money. You know, just like Boogie wanted to keep his medical records private despite desperately needing money and turning it down. Isn't it Shawn Michaels? I also find it hilarious that he keeps going back and forth between, I've heard Muda say that he hates my guts and he hates the way I beg for money. Then it's, well, other people have told me this. Just fucking admit it, Phil. Like you don't copyright strike people that make videos about you, huh? Only restreamers. He then goes on to say that it was only a year ago, after the interview with the Side Scrollers, that, quote, went incredibly poorly. We all know that. Is that right? Because towards the end of it, you said, quote, this is the fairest I've ever been treated on the internet. But apparently that was just another one of your lies. Turns out I've got you all wrong, Phil. You are a stand-up kind of guy. Thumbs up, buddy.
Excuse me. An anonymous tipper says, will you co-watch your own documentary with anyone? I already answered that. I'll tread the ground again. You must have showed up late. My documentary is over 4 hours long. To have someone watch it with me would entail them to have to commit to like a week worth of night streams, like 10 plus hours of streaming, where I would benefit because it's on my channel. That's fucked up. I wouldn't do that. So the answer is no. I'm going to do the full react myself over the course of like a week. Okay? If other people want to watch back my react and react to it, they are welcome to do that. Okay? They're absolutely welcome. But that would be pretty greedy of me, I feel, to come out of nowhere and be like, hey, Kino Casino guys, or hey, anyone for that matter, could you come on my stream and react to my documentary for 5-6 nights straight, 2-hour chunks, and basically make me money? No, I'm not going to do that. That's fucked up. Okay? I'm going to do it for myself. I'm like a man. I'm going to watch my documentary and I'm going to react to it. And, you know, because it's the other thing too. So people are like, why don't you just not react to it? Don't you think it would be a little bit hypocritical that I just did a full-length react to the Rich documentary if I don't react to my own? I mean, that would be pretty pussy of me, don't you think? And I understand there's been a million documentaries about me and I've already reacted to multiple ones, but I think at this point, it's only fair, right, that I do that.
I love it. Nom, 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 nom. Eat it up, eat it up. I'm like a baby in a high chair right now. Here comes the airplane, get ready. So this Night of the Living Dead looking ass bitch wants you to believe that the reason he won't have other people co-watch his documentary with him is because it's too greedy to ask people to spend a few nights with him watching it. And it's totally not because someone like Muda might offer him $10,000 on the spot to show his WWE Champions account. He wouldn't even have to show his name, by the way, just his total score. And that could be matched up against Down from the Rafters to prove it's not him. But that's not the reason, guys. It's because he doesn't want to be greedy.
So shout out to Hard Nose. He says, I have your back. Here's the $5 to make your $95 $100. Well, I really appreciate that, Hard Nose, except that's a super chat. And super chats I don't get till next month. That $5 tip still is a holder. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around. I'm not asking for anything, man. I'm trying to razz people because that's what the guys do over there and people seem to like it. Okay. John Cool. Thank you for a $10 super chat. And he says, it's tax-free, bish. So thank you. I mean, I wish it was. None of this is tax-free. I pay taxes on all this shit. I really wish it was tax-free. I'm using the wrong keyboard. Is it John Cool? It was John Cool, correct? John Cool. Yes, I got it right. Okay. So thank you, John Cool. No, currently I pay taxes on everything. Every single piece of income I get, no lie. Super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, tips, Patreon. I pay taxes on every single thing that I receive. That may change in the future if these tax laws in the U.S. actually change the way that these politicians are claiming they're going to change them if they get elected. Maybe I won't have to pay that much, but sadly, I do pay taxes on everything.
The fact that he went into so much detail there and took so long to answer the question, it's alarm bells and red flags going off everywhere. But that's up to your friends at the IRS to decide, Phil. And would it shock me if a previous tax cheat is still currently cheating on his taxes? No, it wouldn't. Just like it wouldn't surprise me if a former mobile game crackhead was still currently a mobile game crackhead and wasting a ton of money on them. And that actually ties in perfectly to our final clip. Because on the Friday, August 16th night stream, someone asked him what he thought about people that waste large amounts of money on mobile games.
Okay, so now I'm getting a more general question. What do I think about people who spend that much money on mobile games in general? People's money is their own to spend however they want. Now, you can judgmentally say something from a subjective standpoint and be like, well, I think that's stupid to spend that much money frivolously on a mobile game, right? And that's your right to criticize like that, if that's what you think, right? For me, all right, I'll be honest, in the past, I have spent a significant amount of money on mobile games before even the WWE Champions thing even existed. I used to play one called WWE Supercard, all right? That one I have publicly admitted I sunk a lot of time and money into like a dummy. And I regret it now because I look back and I'm like, it was a waste of time, a waste of money. I earned nothing. It was just because I was addicted to it. Okay? Listen, if you get your endorphin rush from playing those games, if it gives you enjoyment, then you have a right to put money into whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? And no one really has a right to criticize you. At the same time, is it pretty stupid spending that much money on an addictive game that really goes nowhere? Yeah, probably. But again, that's a subjective question, Okay.
$110.09 from Apple iTunes.
That was absolute perfection. Per hands to whoever triggered that at the perfect moment. But it seems kind of Shawn Michaels, Phil, that if people want to dump money into mobile games, it's really nobody else's business. Well, how about if that person is doing black shirt begging videos and holding fundraisers for themselves, talking about they may lose their home, but here he just casually admits he used to dump a ton of money into WWE Supercard. Now that's not breaking news, but still, I went over to Pig Go because I wanted to prove a point. I typed in Supercard and I found one of the last times he gives an actual date of when he was still playing it.
Bacon plays it a 25-bit cheer and says, do you play WWE Supercard anymore? Fuck no. I quit that like 2 years ago. No lie. I haven't played it. Actually, when was it the last I played it? I didn't play it at all in 2017. I'm almost positive I quit it before WrestleMania of 2016. So it's been about 2 years. I have not played Supercard in that long.
So that was from January 25th, 2018. And longtime Pay Pig Bacon Plays, which, by the way, where you been, buddy? Hiding under another sock account? But he asked Phil if he still plays WWE Supercard. And of course, Phil says no. He hasn't played that game in like 2 years. That's because he was playing WWE Champions already, but let's put that to the side for now. He says he's almost positive he hasn't played it since WrestleMania of 2016. And as you can see here, that took place April 3rd, 2016. So let's give Phil the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't played the game since the start of 2016, which is a fucking lie, by the way. But that at least gives us some kind of factual date in his own words. Now, beginning of 2016 was a rough time for Satan's friend Philip, but it was a good time for our friend, Almighty Tevin. And he was making videos, gaining popularity, just covering DSP's pre-streams at that time. And during these videos, he would react to what DSP was talking about. And as you can see from the pictures, a lot of these business-failing emergency podcasts were from the end of 2015 and the start of 2016. It's almost like he's dumping a ton of money into mobile games because he's addicted, his own words. He takes some kind of hit to his business, and all of a sudden it's, I'm gonna lose my house, my business is ruined, and I need your help more than ever. Well, what about all the money you were wasting on those games? It's almost like today, where you claim you're not spending any money on WWE champions and that those bank leaks weren't yours, but somehow you're still always strapped for cash and needing people's help, despite getting a bankruptcy and clearing a bunch of credit card debt. So which is it, Phil? Were you lying then, or are you lying now? And I'm actually glad you found your new best friends, because those are two guys that sold themselves out a long time ago and will say anything to anybody just to get the money from them. But it makes sense why they latched on to you, Phil, because they found somebody worse than them, dumber than them, and a person that would sell his wife down the river just so he can keep playing his mobile games. You can get fucked, fat cat.
Get fucked.
Fat cat.